you are warriors in the New Gaian Armored Robot Division. It's a division of the military on New Gaia that specializes in combat with gigantic armored robots, as you might expect. You've been called into this meeting room by your commander. It's just you two. One of you is an electrician, the other one of the leaders of a small squad. So what is the name of that squad? And you guys can decide between each other what the kick-ass name might be.
What's our commander's name?
Captain Reynard. And you are all standing over a table. So yeah, you're in a room with just you two, and you're being briefed on this next mission. The lights in this gray metallic room will flicker occasionally, and voices reverberate off of the walls of this small space. You're all standing over a table, which displays a digitized map of the target location. Captain Reynard uses his hands to zoom in on a portion of the large map. And then he says, "Listen up, squad name." What's your guys' squad name?
We can be Reynard's Rangers. I like alliteration stuff like that. So.
Ranger Squad. There you go.
Cool.
Perfect. So, Torvin, you are an electrician. However, you are an armored robot pilot, and you are part of the Ranger Squad. And so it is typical for you to be deployed on missions like this. He looks at you and he says, "Listen up, Ranger Squad. A situation has arisen on Haruut. A group of scientists from Sundyne Gravitix," and he pulls open that map and focuses in on an area. "A group of scientists from Sundyne Gravitix is on location, contracted by us, our government. They're carrying out classified research. About 1 hour ago, the communication systems disconnected. It's likely an electronic issue. We need an electrician to head over there and fix it up. There is a chance that some alien creature is messing with things on location, so you'll be taking your ARs in case you run into any problems. Once you've made contact with the security on location and figure out what's going on, give us a status update." And when he says, "once you've made contact with the security on location," a picture of a large, I'll share the picture. They're a group of the New Gaian military. Their species name is Norgir, and they are there. There's about 5 of them there that are dressed in this custom-powered battle armor. Without their armor on, they look like that. They are just like this hoofed, antlered, like 7 to 8 feet tall alien species that live with the humans on New Gaia. And there are about 5 of them suited up in their battle armor there at the location, or at least on this picture. That's what comes up. Oh, that was weird. It just kicked me off for some reason. Are you guys still there?
Yep.
Okay, let me turn my camera on and make things even more complicated. So he asks you if you have any more questions before he sends you out.
How large of a presence are we going with?
He says, "It's just you two. I don't expect there to be much issue. This is just a communications problem. Just get in there, let us know what's going on, patch it up, and get out."
All right, sounds good. Pretty straightforward. I think I'm all set.
All right, you guys, you strap up. You get on these. Lyle, you have a Kevlar vest that you put on over top of your synthetic weave. but both of you have this synthetic weave that you wear under, or rather as kind of a suit that protects you while you're inside your armored robots. So you strap up on your white synthetic weaves, and you get to the loading dock to the ship. The distance between your base on New Gaia and Haruut is about 8.5 AUs, and so at light speed it'll take you about 1 hour to get there. So it was about 1 hour. So you guys get on your ship and you boogie on over to Haruut. As you break into the atmosphere, and over the course of the flight, you're informed a little bit about Haruut. You haven't had many missions here, however, you do know that it has an atmosphere that is breathable to humans. It's just that the landscape is not very conducive to life. Things don't really grow here. There's possibilities for settlements and creatures underground, but on the surface, it's largely barren. And yeah, you're briefed there, and they begin to land the ship down. They say that we've landed about 1 mile outside of the Biodome where the scientists are located, so that we don't run into any interference with any testing or anything like that that's going on. They also mention that the research that they're doing here is highly confidential, and that if you see or anything like that, any material that you feel might be confidential, that to let it be and basically don't touch anything, and then you'll be debriefed after the mission. And so you both climb into your mechs, and the back hatch of the ship kind of slowly, and as you look out into the landscape of Haruut, you see just the ground is very brown, and kind of dusty, dirt dusty, not sandy dusty. And the imaging matrix on your armored robots comes up, and your HUD comes up, and you've got oxygen levels showing and different statuses showing you information. The Biodome is about 1 mile straight ahead. Lyle.
Yeah.
What do you do before you start a mission? There's got to be something that Lyle does as a ritual before he goes off on any mission. What is it?
I like to make sure I'm wearing the pair of socks I had on when I passed my final trials to become an AR pilot.
Nice, I like that. Yeah, he's totally into being the captain of his squad. He's still wearing the socks. Torvin, is there something that you do as the mission begins?
Yeah, I make sure my little hula girl's up on the dash, and Van Halen is in the music player.
That's right. Torvin loves some heavy metal. Why don't Lyle, you give us a brief overview of your character? Very brief. You can just read the descriptor, or you can elaborate a little bit more on it, if you so choose.
Well, my descriptor is I'm a 29-year-old reckless human N-Guard pilot who secretly wishes he was smarter than he is. I'm from a jungle world.
New Gaia, yep.
Yep, New Gaia, jungle world. And I pretty much spent most of my career in the military entirely, up to this point, as an AR pilot. This was one of my long-term goals, and I have achieved it. I'm proud of my position. I enjoy leading, and I am prone to misquoting people and misusing large words.
Perfect. And Torvin, What's Torvin like? I know these are pre-gens, but you guys are more than welcome to superimpose personalities over top of these guys.
No, that's cool. He is a 35-year-old spendthrift human in-guard pilot who loves heavy metal music. Homeworld type jungle. Spendthrift, free smoky, craftsman. I think he's sort of a devil may care, kind of a rowdy guy, and doesn't think things quite as seriously as maybe the powers that be would like him to, but he gets the job done.
Excellent. Yes. So the camera shifts back to this open planet. You guys look at each other and you start heading towards your target location. So, unless there's anything, okay, so you begin to reach the target location, and as it was described to you, it's a large biodome. And in fact, as you reach the area, you come up to this quite large circular glass building. It's a large circular dome standing about 4 stories high. There are other smaller sister domes that are connected via glass tunnels, and they provide provide access to other aspects of the operation, like housing for the scientists and the troops, and kitchen and other amenities. You don't need to make a perception check in order to see that there are the bodies of scientists and the Norgir guards are strewn about the outside of the biodome.
Can we do any kind of scanning, like from our mechs?
That's right. Yep. You will use your logic roll. So if you look at your logic dice pool there, and then you'll add your computer's skill.
Does he have the, if you look at your loadout and skills as well, if you have the imaging matrix, which I have, is that something you can use, Nate?
Yes, that will, I think, as I remember, that will let you just pretty much see in the dark and any kind of other obscured...
yeah, you're right. It does apply more than that.
So, yeah, for a scan, you're going to pull up your... let's see, so you have the 3d6 logic, and then for your skills, you should have some computer skill here. You have 1d6 in computers, so you're going to roll a 4d6 for your scan. And let me know the result of that.
16.
Great. What was it you were looking at? What are you scanning for?
I think we're scanning for, I would say I'm scanning for life forms, because I see some casualties here.
Yes. So a quick goes across your matrix there, and you do indeed see over to the right, about 20 yards away, there is a small pile of wreckage, and you can't quite make out from this distance what it is. However, as you head over that direction, just to see, you notice something very unexpected. You see the disabled wreckage of several Steel Brotherhood pirates. The Steel Brotherhood is a band of pirates, basically, that they don't really have any planet that they call home. They live on their ships, and they steal, and they're pirates. They're space pirates. They're ruthless, and the new Gaian government has had trouble with these guys since they came to this system. The pirates, when they go out on missions, they wear powered combat armor, and they can be very dangerous without the right equipment to fight them off. So their powered combat armor, the PCAs, inside that wrecked PCA is the bloodied body of the Spartan who's inside. Spartans are basically a species of human that have these deformations on their face. So as you look inside, you see this your scanners scan over this life form. He's got blood coming down his face, and he's got like a horn there and a deformation there. And he kind of looks up at you, and he just gives you this big, like, bloody smile, and he dies, and all of his vitals go blank.
Wow. Okay. Are there any other signs of living, life?
Right. So when you scanned, that was of the bodies on the outside, that was the only one that appeared to give you any life signals.
All right. Can I?
My scan doesn't encompass the dome.
It did not. However, you can both make a perception check for me. Tim, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I would like to open a comm channel or try and do a large band broadcast, something like that. Trying to communicate at large with anything in the facility.
Yes, you know from your briefing on the mission that their communication systems are completely shut down.
Oh, right. You probably said that, too. Okay, perception, you said, right?
Yeah. Perception is going to be intuition. Yep, and then if you have any skills in perception, to add that. However, I don't think either of you do have any skill in perception. So it's
survival.
Those won't apply here.
Okay, so intuition. All right.
Yep.
I got 2d6 and 7.
I only hit a 6.
Okay. You think you hear something from inside the dome. However, without a further investigation, you're not quite sure what you heard. You know you heard something, but you're just not quite sure what it is you heard inside the dome.
I think we should move in, get a little closer, see if we can get a scan on the interior of this thing.
I agree, soldier. Let's progress. Is there a way do we have to exit the vehicles to get into the dome? Is it like only human size in there? Or?
Yes. You would need to get out of your ARs to get inside and see what is inside.
So I'm going to say, hey, Lieutenant, shouldn't we be reporting back at this point? This is what I would call, I don't know what you call it. It's an incident.
Yeah, go ahead and open comms back to the ship and let them know we've got some contact with the Brotherhood here.
Okay, so is that a skill check, or is that just something I just do?
Yep, nope. You go ahead. You flip open the comm channel to hit, because your drop ship is orbiting outside, and so it's just one button to call back up to the drop ship.
So I get their attention and just report what we see here: casualties, pirates. So give them the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the commander will come back and he'll say, "Damn it! How could they have possibly known we were here? We're in a remote location. The only way they could have known is if there was a rat. It'll take us an hour to get reinforcements down here. You two investigate that dome, see what's going on. Let me know what you find."
Do you want us to exit the mechs and go inside this thing? That's the only way to enter the dome.
That's up to you, soldier. We need to know what's going on there. We've got a lot of classified information that if it falls in the wrong hands, we could be in a lot of trouble.
Sir, this is Lieutenant Lyle. Can I raise an objection?
What is it, soldier?
If we leave the mechs, we're 2 men on foot against whatever it was that killed quite a few of guards down here. Considerably more than 2 guards, it appears. The ARs are the only thing that give us an advantage in going into that dome by ourselves.
He's like, Lieutenant Lyle, I didn't think I took such a pussy through basic training. I suggest you discover what's going on inside the dome. That's the mission.
Sir, understood, sir.
you hear the comms close.
Roger that.
Wonderful. All right, soldier. What was your name again? Zoltan?
His name's Torvin.
Torvin.
You'd probably call him Tor for short or something.
Why don't we get up nice and cozy with that thing and see what we can see first? So this thing, is it like a biodome? Is it transparent? Can we see into it?
You can tell both from looking at it with your eyes naturally and from your scan that there is a sheen on the outside of it that protects really anybody being able to see inside. It also appears to have some layer of electronic protection as well that would prevent scanners from scanning inside.
Hey, Lieutenant, let's get up close to that thing. Maybe I can disable that shield from the outside.
Go ahead, Torvin. You in first. I'll cover you.
All righty. So I'm going to move in. I'm just going to get up close to this thing. I want to get within, 20 meters or so. So I can get within proximity of that shield, kind of get a little better idea what I'm dealing with.
All right, and at this point, are you still in your mech, or have you gotten out?
Oh, no, I'm in the mech.
Okay, so yeah, you come over next to the dome, and you do see on the outside a power panel that appears to be linked to a large kind of power generator. At least that's what you assume it could be. It's kind of enclosed in a semi-transparent glass that appears to have no entrance to it from the outside. You would assume the only proper entrance to it is on the inside.
Yeah. The operative word being proper. Torvin doesn't always do things the proper way. But, okay, that's good to know. Here, just question, does the cockpit, is the cockpit of this thing, am I looking through like a heads up, or do I actually have like a windshield?
You have a fairly large windshield. You are kind of semi-sitting. Mm-hmm. You're comfortable, but you're not like sitting like you would be in a chair. Instead, you're almost half squatted, but your butt is on a seat. Your hands are connected to controls, but they're also free to move and touch the heads-up display. So you kind of have like a smart glass. Yeah. It's really thick, bulletproof glass. That you can interact with your heads-up display, and your feet are also in control of some aspects of the movement of the mech as well.
Cool. So does that shield come up? Does the windshield come up if I wanted to?
Like as how you get out of it?
No, just curiosity. Sometimes you need to look at things with your own eyeballs and not through a piece of thick.
Yeah, sure. Sure, you could hit a and it goes.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Just trying to get the lay of this thing. All right, so I'm gonna do a circuit of the whole outside of this thing. Okay, we're gonna do 360. We're gonna scout the perimeter of this dome, see what else we can see, and basically come back to where we started. That's the goal.
Lyle. Lyle.
That's what I'm gonna suggest to the lieutenant.
Acknowledged. You go ahead, Torvin. I'm going to hold here. Actually, I'm going to head towards the visible entrance and hold there.
Oh, you know what? That's good. We'll go around. Let me go opposite, and we'll meet on the other side. All right.
Good.
All right, Torvin, you start to make your way around the perimeter. You do notice some of the other smaller domes, which are only about a story tall, have large holes in them, blast holes that are still smoking. And Lyle, I want you to make another perception check for me.
Uh, 18.
So, as you stand there and Torvin is now going the other direction, his music is away from you, and you're able to sit back and your senses kind of come back, and you're just scanning the area and listening and looking.
Well, that was triple sixes, if it matters.
That does matter. Why don't you add a luck die to your luck pool? Either luck or leadership, you can choose.
I'll take luck for sure. That's just for what, 1 round? Or?
Oh, no, that's permanent. You keep that. I mean, it's permanent as in it's permanent until you use it. Basically, add a luck die to your luck die pool for spending. So, yes, you catch the sounds of something roaming around inside the biodome. You hear the sounds of smashing glass and the screeching sound of something hard scratching along the floors. It seems to sound like screech, 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 and then you hear like glass vials and windows go, and then more of the screech, screech. So you clearly something is inside, something or someone is inside the dome.
So, GM question, I guess. Can you refresh me again on the purpose of this dome? What's going on here? Research?
All you have been told is that there is some classified research going on here. That this company was hired. It's a private company hired by the government conducting some classified research. That was all you were told.
Okay, so when I get to about 180 degrees from where the lieutenant is, I'm going to hit him on my palm and say, "Hey, what's up, boss? You see anything over there?"
Nope, haven't run into anything too much yet. See inside. I can hear screeching. There's definitely something moving around in there. It sounds like it's thrashing through everything inside. I think we need to try and hurry up before it.
That's not good. Okay, as I'm going around this thing, I'm looking for any more of these, like control boxes, big like electrical conduits, stuff that I can sabotage to maybe, help us out a little bit here. Especially something to turn off that shield.
Yeah, there is a few of smaller terminals that appear to give power to some of the lodging ones, but they appear to be local. They don't appear to be anywhere near the scale of the main power generator that you saw around the front.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna keep going around until I come back to the lieutenant.
Yeah, I guess if we're going to have to disembark, I want to leave it right near the entrance so I can get back in again quick.
Something's tearing the bejesus out of the inside of the thing. Why don't we just bust a hole in it? We can blame it on whatever's doing the damage in there.
It's not a bad idea, Torben. I admire your style as usual, but the instructions were fairly explicit in trying to maintain the integrity of this place, and I would like to just get the mission done under those standards. Let's give that a shot first before we resort to just blowing the hell out of everything again.
Okay. Hey, I'm just trying to keep things lively here. We don't want to be getting dull. All right. So how about this? I'm going to get out of my mech. You stay in here to cover me. And so I'm going to look at this thing. I'm going to get my eyeballs on this shield and this junction box or whatever it is, this control box.
Is it accessible at all to us without taking the shields down? Like, can we just walk in the front door?
You could, yes. The door is open. You could walk inside.
Oh, okay. So the shield is more of maybe an environmental sort of thing, or?
Well, yeah. Think of it as you've got a layer of glass.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got a layer of some transparent electronic film that blocks scanners from looking inside. And then on the outside of that, you've got kind of a perma-shaded glass, so you can't see inside. So you can't see inside, you can't scan inside, but there's nothing stopping you from walking inside, except for the guards who are now dead.
So,
Wait, I do have an idea.
So, hey, Lieutenant, let me pose this to you just before we go, strolling in there. You pop a couple of rounds in that box. It'll probably turn the shield off. And then we can maybe see inside.
All right, go for it. Worth a shot. Actually, and I'm going to stay focused on the door because I want to know if the sound is going to, bring something closer. I want to make another check after he does that, if I could, to see if, the noises inside have changed.
So I'm getting this look at this electrical box.
Mm-hmm.
Is this just like a metal box? Is it made of? Am I confident that I can maybe put a couple of rounds in this thing and it would damage it?
So what it is you see the big dome, and then kind of down where the dome connects to one of the glass hallways is a smaller sphere that is this like transparent plastic, if you will. Not fully transparent, it's semi-opaque, and you can see inside that there's a large electrical panel along with a large generator. So you would need to get through that plastic barrier to get to the panel.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to have to probably shoot that thing to disable it. So, just, or do we go inside? I don't think that one of us should go in. I think if we dismount, we should both go in, don't you think?
As you're talking, you hear...
Does it sound any closer than it was last time?
About the same.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Torvin. Just do your thing. I'm going to keep an eye on the door for now. We'll see if that makes a big change. And if when we go inside, I'll get out of here and come in with you.
Okay. So I'm not real familiar with my guns here, but I got a couple of nice ones.
Go ahead, sorry.
This is more or less a narrative thing. You don't need to roll for shooting something stationary.
Okay.
You just point your gun at it and shoot. Are you still in your mech?
Yeah, I'm still in my mech, but I'm going to use some kind of, I don't want to use like a cannon or anything explosive. Just good old-fashioned lead, I want to plug this thing with just like a nice 3-round burst of lead.
Yeah. You point it. I think your machine guns are on your arms, right? Or are they on your shoulders?
Machine gun should be on your arm.
Yeah, so you take one arm and you just kind of... And you see these bullets just rip right through the plastic, and a huge gaping hole appears. And you did it at an angle that the bullets exited out the other way and didn't do any damage to the power. And so you've got a pretty large hole that you've ripped through with your machine gun.
But I didn't damage the generator or any of the controls inside?
No, that's pretty straightforward. You would have to be pretty awful to, like, at point blank range, not hit something you weren't aiming at.
Yeah. So is there any change in skin of this dome?
Nope, nothing else seems to change other than you have access to the panel and the generator now. A human-sized hole access, not mech size.
Okay. So I'm going to go begin the process of dismounting.
I've got Overwatch.
Isn't too involved, I would imagine.
Right. So go ahead and you climb out of your AR. I gotta stop calling them mechs. I don't know if that's like a trademarked thing or whatever.
Okay. AR. Sorry. No,
you climb out of there. You go over to the panel, and you're just barraged with buttons and cables running to the generator, and you see them running underneath glass and into the thing. Go ahead and make a logic electronics roll for me. So you're going to find your logic, which is 3d6. Going to find your electronics skill, which is, where is it? Oh, I've got Lyle up.
My logic is 46.
Sorry, yeah, I've got Lyle up. My bad.
And
46, and your electronics is 2d6. So you're going to roll 6d6 for your logic roll.
All right. $19.
Yeah, you grab one of your screwdrivers and you just start. You get the panel open in like seconds, and you pull a couple of wires, and you're looking at the generator, and you pull one, and then you just you hit a button, and the whole exterior of the dome becomes transparent glass, and instantly, Lyle, you are able to see this horrific-looking creature that appears to be like crawling around on all fours, and it looks kind of like it's facing the ground, and it's crawling on its elbows, and then when that, as soon as kind of there's a split second where you see it crawling, and then it realizes that everything just became transparent, and it can see out, and it jerks up, and it looks right at you, and it looks like, hold on, let me find it here. Where did it go? It's right there. Why isn't it showing up on my screen share here? I'll just share my desktop for now. Looks like that. Yes, it is. It's about the size of a car, and it's just been zooming around these hallways, and it's got like the body of a scientist half in its mouth, and it's got like glass shattered all over it, and it is staring right at you.
Yeah, Torben is going to hop back in his neck real quick.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, it begins to make its way towards you. Also, when you see now, you can see into the dome. You see that in the center of the 4-story part, the main hub, there is a large metallic cylinder that has these small, like, port windows in it. And then at the bottom of it, it's lifted up about 5 feet, and at the bottom of it, there's this very large closed hatch that appears to go into the ground. And up above the cylinder, there are gears that control the cylinder moving up and down.
Sounds like an elevator or some sort.
No, it's because it'll only go up so high, and it'll stop at the ground. And it appears to conceal this big hatch that's in the ground. And it can be lifted up to reveal the hatch, and then put down to hide it. But it's a really large hatch. It's like the size of a, I don't even know, like 2 trampolines.
So the cylinder is up, and we can see the hatch. Is the hatch open?
The hatch is not open, but it's not closed either. It appears damaged. You don't get too much of a good look at it before your attention is drawn to this creature that is now making its way towards you. Its tongue kind of slavering. It's coming towards you, and it'll stop every so often and look up, and its eye will see you, and then it'll keep coming, and then it looks up, and then it keeps coming. So because of its kind of labored approach to you, you'll have one action that you can take before you roll initiative. It does not look friendly.
Yeah. I didn't think it was here to welcome us to the planet. What do you say, boss?
Is he back? Is he back in his AR? Ensign, I'm going to call you Ensign. I'm going to give you that title, Ensign. I don't know. If he's in, I would like the first thing to do is, if the glass is in our way, I would like to take a target lock, if possible. Well, I don't have that kind of thing. But ready my short-range missiles on the monster and have him shoot the glass and me immediately follow up with the short-range missiles. And whatever else is inside be damned.
Yeah, so you will be able to take one of those actions. You can either... So, obviously, it will have to be blowing the glass. And you can use either your missiles or your lasers to do that.
Well, we don't... Do we both get one action?
Yeah, just one.
So that's what I'm saying. I'll have him blow the glass first.
Oh, okay.
Give him the order to say, Ensign, I need you to bust that glass first. And I'm with a barrage of SRMs. I'll have my short-range missiles ready. Well, I can tell you which ones they are. The micro-missile launcher, I believe.
And, Torvin, do you follow your lieutenant's command?
Oh, so you want a hole in that thing? Not a problem. So I'm going to fire my 12mm at that thing.
The glass just bursts wide open, and this thing starts to charge, and Lyle, your I think it's on your right shoulder, your missiles, they
Left shoulder on these.
left shoulder, so they rocket out and they jet right towards it. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
So while he's doing that, on my turn, I think I should also get on the comm and let our command ship know what's going on down here.
Yeah.
So I want to do two things. I want to back up a little bit from the dome itself. To get my
Okay, yeah, you kind of were, so you kind of combined backing up with your cannon shot.
Yeah.
So you and then you hit the comm as he's making his attack on the thing.
Okay, cool. I just want to let them know, say, hey, we got hostiles down here. Yada.
I hit a 20 on my missile attack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big old fat hit. Go ahead and roll your damage for that.
12.
Okay. You notice your missiles largely they appear to explode on the outside of this thing. However, when it's crawling towards you, you notice patches on its back where its chitinous exoskeleton has been kind of carved. It looks like there are neat little squares carved out of its back, as though it were some kind of test subject being sampled. And a few of your missiles managed to make contact right on that location, and it does not like that at all. So now we have to roll initiative. Go ahead, Torvin, tell me what it was you were saying to the commander.
Oh, I was going to get the ship and say, hey, we've got a hostile activity out here. There's a creature of unknown origin, approximately 4 meters or 5 meters in height, many limbs, big mouthful of nasty teeth. It's tearing the shit out of his dome. Over. Oh, and it's killing everybody inside. If it hasn't killed them all already. Over.
Great. Roll initiative.
Let's see.
I hit a 19.
Nice.
Yeah, 46. That's nice.
And Torvin, what'd you get for your initiative?
11.
All right. First up is this creature. You hear your commander come back in on your comms, and he says, that gentleman is a Zakuz. Be careful. It will chew right through your armored combat vehicles. Keep your distance.
Is it vulnerable to anything? Is there any known way to penetrate that exoskeleton easily?
He says, we don't have much information on them. We'll be in touch.
We'll get back to you. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a lot of help.
Pretty
How about
much.
any aerial? How about any aerial assistance? Can you scramble some fighters to get down here?
You remember before you even asked that question, maybe that was a thought you had, but you remember that he had mentioned that it's any support that you have is an hour out from.
That was a little while ago. So how much time has passed since that?
About 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Looks like we're on our own here, boss.
Fine.
We can poke a few holes in that thing.
Yeah, the Zaku's, it comes up to, let's see, Lyle, you were closest since you were at the entrance. It makes its way over to you with surprising alacrity, and it gets up on its hind legs, and it looks at you, and it takes the claws on its arm, and it tries to come down on top of your AR. Let me roll his attack. And I don't think you're moving right now, so yeah, you're pretty much. This is a guaranteed hit almost. Yeah, it's a 28. Yeah. So he is going to do. Let's see. It's going to be 25 damage. So I forgot to mention before we started, you might want to get your calculators out for this, because dealing with like hundreds of hit points and then like soak in the double values and then damage in double values, there's going to be a lot of math going on. So you might want to get a calculator for this, just to speed things up. So yeah, you got 25 damage coming your way. He just comes down and he bashes. It's more of a blunt hit on the top of your AR. And he comes back around with his other arm, and he tries to hits you with his other arm again.
Jeez.
For another 18. And then it is your turn, Lyle.
Yeah, check out my exploits real quick. Hold on a second.
So Torvin, as he's checking that out, you see this creature come up to him, and when it hits him, you see kind of these sparks and pieces of its exoskeleton kind of grind off on the side of it, and you just see, and the AR kind of stumbles back a couple of steps.
All right. Is it possible for me to walk in reverse while maintaining, my weapon forward on him?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, certainly walk in reverse. Yeah.
So I'd like to move with an accelerate backwards.
Yeah, and as you do, he kind of comes down and lands on his elbows, and he's holding himself up with his eye staring at you.
And while I'm doing that, as I initiate that, I'm going to say, Ensign, I'm going to try and maintain his aggression on me and pull him backwards. I need you to get behind him and try and get some clean shots in those spots on his back.
Will do.
Just make sure you don't hit me, all right?
So, just a little GM explanation. So, the ballistic weapon, what type of load are these? What kind of splash damage are we talking about? Just to give a rough idea.
So for your cannons, some cannons have the capability of loading different types of rounds in them. Mm-hmm. However, your machine guns, your cannons don't have that capability, and your machine guns fire pretty much standard rounds. They're large rounds, but standard lead shot.
All right, so for my backing up, do I just accelerate like my full 2 movement? Can I say that? Or how do you? Yeah,
you start backing up. I would say your reverse speed might be around. I mean, mechanically speaking, it should be the same. It's just the same motion in reverse. So yeah, you can back up at 20 miles an hour.
No, we'll do half that. So I don't want to move
Okay.
very fast. I want to make an easy target. So we'll just do one at one point. So 10 miles per hour backwards.
Yeah, so you get hit,
That's one.
and you start to take steps back. And so that's your move action. Now you have 2 other actions that you can take.
Does that mean 2 different attacks?
Yeah, if you want to make 2 different attacks, you can. You can attack once with your lasers and then once with one of your other weapons.
And my lasers are automatically linked, is that right?
They are linked. One more point that I need to make, though. On your system's overview tab, you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner there's an ROF tab.
Uh-huh.
Tim, you shot your missiles already.
Mm-hmm.
Your micro missiles. So that value goes to 0 out of 2 or 3, whatever it is.
Oh, is that that's rate of fire?
That's right. And then at the beginning of each of your turns, you gain 1 more.
Right.
So you fired that on a kind of an ambush turn. Now it's the beginning of your turn, so that should be a 1. So you can't fire that until it's back up to 3. It's kind of a recharge rate.
Up to 2. Is that 2?
Okay, so yeah, you're back up to 1 out of 2. So on your next turn, you'll be able to fire those micro missiles again, but not this turn.
All right, cool. But I still have the grenade launcher. I should be able to use.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lead then with the linked lasers. I have the reckless trait, so if I ignore cover, I gain 1d6 attack bonus, as long as I'm not using a shield, which I'm not.
Yeah, you can certainly add that. That'll put you up to 7d6 if you choose to use the plus 2d6 you get from your other exploit.
I will do that. And I will take my 1... Wait, how many luck die do I need to add a damage die? 2?
No, for luck. Your luck dice are much more valuable. It's 1-to-1 ratio for that.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, then I'm going to take that extra luck die I grabbed earlier.
And you can choose to wait to use that until you're certain that you've hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
So 76. Throw down to 25.
Now, did you get triple sixes on that?
Negative.
Oh, wow, okay. So this scene kind of unfolds where this thing is kind of beating on you with its arms, and then you start to back up, and as you do, you just kind of blast into it with a couple of laser shots. Go ahead and roll the damage on that, and add your 1 luck die to that too as well.
So because I roll 2 damages, or how does it work?
No, I would add that. Well, yeah, you would do your normal attack roll, and then just roll another d6 after that, and that'll be your luck die.
No, but I'm talking about for the linked lasers. You said when we were talking before, you roll damage separately.
Yeah, I've already accounted for that in the rolls button.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, because each laser does 2d6, so you'll be rolling 4d6 for the regular attack, and then an extra 1d6 for your luck die.
So just 5d6 overall.
Yep, and the last roll on that is going to be your luck die, and if that's a 6, that means it explodes, and you get to roll it again and add it.
Nope, 13.
13. All right, yeah, so you managed to connect with a couple of shots, but largely you see these bolts just kind of almost being absorbed by this exoskeleton of this creature, and you have 1 action left.
Ooh.
Were you going to taunt it? I thought maybe that's where you were going with it.
No, but
Okay.
I'm going to take evasive maneuvering, my exploit.
Okay, add
As
5
an
defense.
action, you're able to hone in. So I'm going to kind of, just...
Yeah, you kind of hit a few buttons on there.
Dodge some attacks, get low and quick.
Awesome. Yeah, so you get ready to dodge some shit. So Torvin, you are up, my friend. If you're still there. Your mic is muted.
Yes, I am. And
Aha.
all right. So first, so I think I understand that my linked weapons. I only have to hit. I roll to hit once, but the damage is double because the weapons are linked. Is that correct?
Right. The button that I have for you there already accounts for that.
Cool.
Yeah. But if you're rolling dice, then yes. However, first up is your move action. You have to take that before you take your other. Actually, you can take your move action at any point. But right now, you're kind of to the side of the thing. And you definitely get more. You get a bonus for being behind it.
Yeah, and so, but I also have to make sure I'm not hitting my companion here. So these ripped out. It sounds like something carved off of this thing in a couple of places. Like carved its hide off in some places. Like maybe they were experimenting on this thing or something. This is the kind of thing that Torva thinks about when he's trying to figure out how to kill something. So how big are they? These things are really big. How big are these exposed patches that are vulnerable?
Right. So the monster itself is about the size of a car, a standard-sized sedan. And the holes on the back of it are about the size of a 8x11 sheet of paper. So you see two separate holes, one on kind of its upper left shoulder, and then another one right in the center of its lower back.
But they're not close. Okay, so I'm going to aim at the one on its lower back. So that's okay. First of all, I'm going to maneuver myself to get the best optimal shot at this thing. I want to shoot at an oblique angle, so I'm not shooting directly at the lieutenant.
Right. Yeah, and that's no problem at all. Yeah, you're able to shift yourself just right so that you're aiming right at that, but you're not aiming at the lieutenant. So you get the +1 from that. I'll tell you what your roll total. It's going to be normally your. Oh, that's your regular character sheet. Hold on. Nope. I think it's going to be 7.
That's what I had too. I was calculating.
Yeah, 7d6. Yeah.
All right.
And
so
then
I'm going to reserve one of those to add to the damage.
Okay, so it's on a 2-to-1 basis with your attack dice pool.
Oh, so if I can reserve 2 dice,
then you'll add 1 to the damage. That's right.
You know what? Yeah, that's okay. That thing does a lot of damage. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to roll my 7.
All right. Now keep an eye out for 666s, because if you do that, that's considered a critical hit, and I'll have to look some stuff up for that.
Not this time, but I did get some nice rolls. $29.
Oh yeah, you kind of you fire right into those spots. Go ahead, and in fact, you manage to sink those bullets in so well that you are going to bypass all of its natural soak. You just got those spots perfectly. So go ahead and roll your damage, and it is going to take all of that love.
I think was it 66 on the damage.
For the damage, it was going to be 4d6.
Okay.
Yep.
Uh, 14 on the damage.
Yeah, it takes all of that, and it does not like it whatsoever. You see this kind of bluish green blood spurt out, and it howls out this, like, it's almost like this cacophony of screams, and it almost has multiple voice chords you hear it screaming with, and you see its jaws kind of slaver, and it does not like what you just did to it. You, my friend, have another action you can take.
Missiles. Light them up.
But it's not an attack action, right?
Oh, no, it can be an attack action, but it can't be with your machine guns.
Oh, cool. Then in that case, I am going to fire, I think with my, if I apply aim, I'm going to fire a 20 millimeter at this thing, the same spot. I'm aiming for the meat again. And
all right.
If I read this correctly, I can add my aim to this. So for 76 on my attack roll.
So are you talking about the AIM universal exploit that you have?
Yes. Does that
now
apply?
that takes an action to use.
Okay.
Yep, that particular one takes an action to
I
use.
get it. Okay, so I apply it to my weapon, but it's in the same round, right? So I use that as an action, and then I fire away.
Right. So if you were to use that and then fire a weapon, you would get the bonus from that aim.
That's okay. I'm still rolling a 5d6 here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. With the 20 later, that's a nice one. That is 24 points for the attack roll.
And did you happen to get triple sixes on it?
I did not.
Okay, great. Go ahead and roll that damage.
And that is 5d6. Wow, terrific. That is 21 on the damage.
Whew. Yeah, you and you blow another it almost looks like your 20 millimeter gets underneath the chitinous exoskeleton of it, and it rips off another large chunk of it, and it almost connects the two spots that were already open, and you hit this large exposed area of its back, and it at this point it's beyond pain. And in fact, now that it's its turn, it's going to attempt to just start running away. It starts to yelp and pull itself along the ground on its arms, and try to get away from you. So, Lyle, it's your turn. You're still backing up if you choose not to mess with your acceleration at all.
Is it running away from me as well? Like it's running away from both of us?
Yeah, it was in front of you, and you had backed up, and it landed back on its feet, and then it got slammed in the back by Torvin, and now it's kind of going off the other direction, away from you guys.
Shit, he's running like a feeling mule. Shoot him, Lieutenant. Get him.
In fact, you notice he's kind of making a beeline for that hatch.
Oh, he is?
Inside the biodome, yeah. He's almost to the entrance of the biodome. He'll definitely wreck the door if he makes it to it.
Wait, how did he get out of the biodome?
I was operating under the assumption that he kind of came through one of the glass hallways. He was in the middle of the glass hallway. The thing opened up. He could see. He saw you. He smashed through.
We blew a hole in the wall.
I was going to say, man, if there's already damage done, we're not going in the door. I'm driving right into that building.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn to where he came out. All right. So I want to...
However you have it in your mind, just know that he appears to be going for that hatch.
Gotcha. Okay, so I want to use both my accelerations to go from 10 backwards to 10 forward. Can I do that?
Okay.
As a move?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And I also want to try and draw...
You see this glimmering bluish-green back material on him, kind of glinting right in front of you as he's trying to get away.
I'm going to use an aim exploit for the next action, and then for the third, I'm going to use my beam laser attack. And I'm also going to aim for that spot specifically, and hopefully this will be the kill shot.
Do it.
Yeah, get him in the sticky part.
You're going down, monster. Pew, 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 pew. 18. Oh.
Right at the old kazoo.
Yes.
18 hits. Oh, that wasn't +1 anyway. Let me get the +1 in there. It's plus another 3, so 21. 3s. Nothing. Okay. Damage is 10, and I'll stick with that. So yeah, 10 damage.
Yeah, so as you fire your lasers into its back, what's it look like when it gets slammed with those, right in its meaty parts?
I'd say it flings it forward, either right into the wall if it's not like it slams into the building, if it's that close, like front first, and its like arms go up and its little eyeball is mashed right in there.
Yeah, so actually what happens is you shoot down with those lasers, and it goes through its back, and it pushes it forward into the wall, and you see a bunch of glass shatters onto it, and just like fills its eye with glass, and it's kind of just up against the wall of the biodome, half shattered, with a big hole in its back. You can see through it to the ground.
Is it dead then?
Oh, it's dead.
Okay.
Sweet. Yeah, so we're out of initiative.
Good job, Lieutenant.
Excellent work, Ensign. All right,
Yes,
let's go check out this thing and see where that hatch leads to, because there was some mighty bad shit down that way.
Yeah, I think we could just kind of stroll into that hole that's already there at this point.
Agreed. Let's just go straight into the building with the mechs.
All right, so I'll take the point and start working my way in towards that thing.
Yeah, so you make your way in. You're inside the biodome. Your mechs or your ARs rather, are about, so the building is about 4 stories tall, and your ARs are about, I don't know, 2 to 3 stories tall. So you can go into it, no problem. You might break a little bit of glass around the side of the biodome as you go in, but that's no problem. And as you look around and you're looking, you do see off to the right-hand side. So you've got this big cylinder in the center. Off to the right-hand side is a very large computer terminal with a lot of flashing lights, a lot of red flashing lights, and some screens up that appear to have some information scrolling, going through the screens and all of that sort of thing. And then before you is this large cylinder. And now that you look at it closer, why don't you both make an intuition roll for me? And I could be convinced of a skill being added to that if you have one.
Are we looking at the computer systems here?
No, you're looking at this. You're just kind of assessing what the heck this big metallic cylinder is in the middle. And it's an intuition roll, so that it's because it's like, what's your general take on this?
Intuition and computers?
I'm a fixer. Does that help me?
What is it?
I'm a fixer. Can I get an extra die for that?
I'm sorry. Your voice is breaking up just a little bit. It was hard to tell what you said.
One of my exploits is a fixer. Can I get an extra die for that? Or mechanic?
Mechanic. Yes, you Torben's a mechanic.
Okay.
Go ahead and you can add that to your intuition roll. Lyle, did you have anything you wanted to add to your intuition roll?
Computers? Is that okay? Is it
if you want to scan it, you can scan it with your computers. A logic computers check.
I got 11.
And then do I also get the intuition roll?
No, it's either logic or one or the other.
Would you say I could get my logic and computers check?
Yeah, for a scan.
I'll take that.
Okay, go ahead. You'll tell me what that is after I tell Lyle what he sees. So, Torben, rather. Torben, you look at it, and you're kind of looking at it up and down, and your general sense of it is that you just saw that creature making its way towards that hatch. You're looking at this thing. It thought that was a way to get away from you guys, maybe to go back to where it came from. Putting that together with this big cylinder that could close that off, you figure that might be the way that these guys were capturing these creatures or something to that effect. Lyle, what did you get on your roll?
13.
Okay. Your scanner kind of comes up and it shows you kind of not the schematics, not like the blueprint schematics, but it shows you the function and everything, and you can see that this cylinder is connected to the main computer, and that it's also automated, and you see that if it has sensors on the inside, and you could deduce that if it senses something on the inside, that it locks, it seals itself shut if it senses anything on the inside, so that you could not open it if you wanted to while there is something inside of it.
Catching those things in that can there?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I was sneezing.
So, you think maybe they were catching these things in that can there?
Boy.
Excuse me. So, well, do we, so I want to do another scan for life forms real quick here.
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, because there's got to be rubble and shit everywhere.
Found some scientists.
That was a logic.
Yep, logic computers.
All right, that was like it. So I've got 16.
You do a scan. You see some bodies that you didn't see before. None of them show any signs of life.
So organic, but not living.
Yep.
Well, then there's no survivors. What do you say we call home and get the heck out of here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and open comms, report back, let them know if we should proceed down the hole.
So I will open up the channel with our base ship and try to get their attention.
Yeah, he says, what is it, Torvin?
So hey, we subdued that thing. It's taken care of. But this place is completely decimated. No survivors. Don't know what's going on here, but we're just, what do you need us to do at this point?
He says, as if you didn't say actually, no. As soon as you open up the comms and you start talking, he's like, yes, we found some information on the Zaku's. It appears that if you're able to get weapons underneath its chitinous exoskeleton, then you might have a chance. Oh, wait, what's it? You killed it?
Oh, yeah. Just like you said. We did think that. We opened that thing up like a can of Spam. It's dead.
Right, like I said. Yes, great. Anyways, and he... so you fill him in on what's going on, and he says, I am concerned. There were pirates there. They should not have known we were there. Something is wrong here. And
So were there experiments taking place down here that we should know about? Why would that thing be headed towards a hatch that's under the facility?
he says, Lieutenant, you're on a need-to-know basis. And you don't need to know. And so he'll continue to explain that he is concerned that there were pirates there, that the Steel Brotherhood was there. They should not have known this biodome was there, and they might be the cause of this. If they have whatever the scientists were working on, then there could be irreparable damage done. And you are not authorized to leave until you figure out what has happened with the research that was going on inside this dome.
Yeah, you know what? I think I have an idea how to get that done. So, Lieutenant, why don't we go do that? And we'll get back to you as soon as we have something to report.
Roger.
And he says, copy. Your reinforcements are about 30 minutes out.
Copy. We'll sit tight here, and we'll see what we can find out. Just stand by. Stand by, ship. We'll let you know.
All right. And Torvin, you said you had some idea of how to get that done?
There's a whole bunch of computers in here. Let's go see what the hell they're doing. And you don't want to know what to look for. So let's go back in there, and you can cover me while I access those computers. Because who's to say something won't come back out of whatever that thing is there. But I think it's the quickest way to go. What do you say?
Yeah, go ahead, but I'm also going to disembark. I'll cover you on foot.
Okay.
Yeah, as you get out, you notice and you breathe the fresh air. Not for the first time, because Torvin, you had your hatch open, you've been out and everything, but you do notice that the air on this planet is surprisingly refreshing. It's almost crisp. The air is maybe 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and it just feels nice. There's a nice breeze going through the shattered biodome.
Is there maybe a slightly higher oxygen content on this planet than we're used to?
If you wanted to know that, you could do a scan with your scanner.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do a scan with my scanner.
Lyle, you could do the same.
And I got 18 on my scan of the...
Yeah, so you kind of dial in your scanner to scan the general atmosphere. Lyle, are you doing it as well or no?
Yeah, I hit a 17, but I'm scanning specifically for any other organics. I'd like to know if there are still organic particles left from things that would have been here recently that are no longer. Could give us some clue.
So, Torvin, your scan reveals that indeed the atmosphere that you're breathing is slightly higher in oxygen, and so you just feel kind of vivacious. You feel almost like you could run, further than you've ever run before. And Lyle, when you scan for other organic particles, some interesting things come up that your scanner can't read. And as you dial them in with your roll of 17, you're able to break them down into more basic elements. And but I'm going to need another logic computer roll to see if you can kind of piece them back together and figure out what exactly it is you've found.
14.
So you're able to piece some of them back together, not all of them. But the ones that you do find appear to be related to the creature that you just destroyed. You're scanning these particles that are kind of in the air, and it's chitin, it's exoskeleton. You just blew off chunks of it, and part of it is flowing in the air. There's also one other thing that you notice, and that is a liquid, or not necessarily a liquid, but it's a compound that you're not familiar with, and you couldn't even speculate as to what it does. You do know that it's highly acidic / alcoholic. It's very kind of acidic.
Where is it?
It's just kind of around in particles.
It's in the air?
Yeah, not thick, not like you're being poisoned or anything like that, but, your scan kind of doo-doo, and you're catching these things, these elements. You would guess that probably in another part of the lab there would be more information on what it is you're seeing or finding. Back to Torvin, are you going to try to get into those computers?
Yes. First, I'm going to tell the lieutenant and say, hey, the atmosphere here is really high in oxygen. We need to keep an eye on each other because you can get, oxygen overload for you. So, if I start acting strange, you either get me back in the cab with a regulated atmosphere, and vice versa for you. Okay.
Don't worry, Ensign Torvin.
All right.
I will most perturbedly take you care of.
All right.
You kind of stumble over the word as you say it.
I'm going to go over to, so this, first of all, there's a bank of computers here.
Yes.
I'm going to use my related skills to I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to attempt to see what these computers do, right? I want to discern their functions. Some of them, are they control centers? If so, what are they controlling? Or are they just standard? Okay, so first of all, I go up, are these just standard workstations? Is there anything esoteric here?
Yeah, no, they're standard kind of computer workstations. Some of the monitors are smashed. There are two monitors next to each other, one of which appears to have this kind of blue screen that's scrolling text. It's clearly, would need a lot of TLC to get functioning again. But then another one appears kind of ominously just, blinking. It's waiting for a command.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do is how many individual CPUs or how many workstations with individual data feeds am I talking about here?
As far as what you think you can access, there is only one, maybe two, if you can figure out what the hell is going on with this blue screen of death.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the first one that looks like it's fairly operational. I'm just going to try and, can I log into this thing? Can I access, if I hit, bring up the keyboard, will it respond?
Yeah, it's perfectly responsive. You'll need a Logic Computers test for that.
So I got, I'm at 24 on that roll.
Damn, yeah, did you get 666s on it?
I did not. I got 4 4s. Does that count for anything?
It does not.
Too bad.
But yeah, you're able to hit a few key combinations that you learned in school that will essentially bring the computer out of the terminal and into a functioning state where it's prompting you for a password, and you're able to kind of bypass the password and get into the system no problem. And you're met with this what was the name of the corporation? Hold on. Something Sundyne Gravitics logo comes across the screen, and it says welcome, and then it fades out and fades back into this what looks like a touchscreen desktop.
So one question, do I know what this company does?
You have no idea what this company does. You didn't even know this company existed until just now.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of stomped around this thing. I've had some experience inside this thing. Other than this strange hatch and cylinder thing, could I like suss out anything about what's going on here, or was it just like completely,
You can make another intuition roll to see, what, if anything, Torben might be able to connect the dots in his mind.
11.
Okay, so you mull it over in your head, and you get, some heavy metal starts to bubble up and distract your thoughts, and you're not quite able to discern exactly what could possibly be going on here. You know that there's experiments going on, whatever the hell these crazy creatures are. Yeah. You don't know.
So, maybe that's it. Do I see this like biological equipment? Do I see like test tubes and petri dishes, or is it like, cathodes and transistors and resistors and shit like that?
It's definitely more biological in nature.
The squishy stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. Torben understands the squishy stuff versus the hard stuff. Okay, so cool. So I'm going to go at this interface here. And what can I get? Is this like your Tom Cruise in Minority Report, where it's like I touch and the little dial menu comes up? That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's not quite like that. It's more like it's this big touch screen with that has this like touch screen carousel that you can swipe through.
Cool.
The computer still takes key commands, and one thing you notice is that it has kind of this explanation point in the corner notifying you of mail, and it's kind of catching your attention.
Well, I'm going to check the mail. I'm going to click that sucker.
All right. As soon as you do this, a prompt with the Sundyne logo, it's this sun with kind of a horizon dashed through it comes up, and it says, "Please enter password."
Admin.
Password. Logic Computers.
Yeah. So let me try my Logic Computers here. Can I throw some luck on top of that?
You certainly can.
How does that work?
You just add a luck die and then deduct it from your luck dice pool.
Okay. $32.
Jeez. Did you get 666s on that?
I did not. I got 3.
Holy crap.
All
right.
Closer.
So, yeah, you're able to basically just, with the flick of a couple of keys, you completely bypass the requirement for a password, and you get right in there. And you notice that the email that comes up is actually a reply to an email that was sent from this location. And all the reply says, it says from, and then it just has a bunch of gibberish, like a bunch of special characters, like exclamation point, pound sign, percentile, and so on and so forth. And then all of the response says is message received. But then you scroll down a little bit and you can read the message that got sent out from this location, and it reads as follows: Brothers, this is Lysander. We've had a breakthrough. It appears as though we've stumbled upon something of major importance, and the time to act is now. We must secure this data before it gets sent back to our enemies and used against us. Send some brothers to the research facility. I will need assistance transporting the data to the facility. There are only 5 hoofwalkers here. Side note, you would know that that is a very derogatory term for the Norgir guards that were posted there. Very derogatory. There are only 5 hoofwalkers here, but if we do not hurry, there will be more troops here than our facility can handle, as we won't have long before the NGM are onto us. Bring a transport to the Haruut facility ASAP for immediate evacuation of the entire facility. We have what we came for. Your brother in steel, Lysander.
Oh, snap. So,
Skullduggery, by God.
no snap. So, something went wrong with the pickup then. They all died. Did we see a ship anywhere out there? We didn't see a ship out there, did we? A crashed ship?
As you arrived, you noticed that the holes in some of the smaller domes were still smoking. However, what caught your immediate attention was the dome itself and what was inside.
Right. Okay. Well,
And
I want
Go
to
ahead.
cruise around on this computer, just do a quick run through. Can I figure out what they were doing here? There must be like journals, notes, research documents, something.
that appears, so you scroll around on the computer and everything, that appears to not be on this hard drive. There's no even reference to any research material on this hard drive at all. You begin to suspect that might be what this mumbo-jumbo computer over on the left-hand side is all messed up. That might be the actual info.
Is it okay? So this other computer, is it networked to the one I'm sitting at?
Physically, yes. However, no network drives are showing up on this particular computer.
Can I try and rectify that?
Sure. Go ahead. Logic computers.
Logic computers.
Nate, at some point before we progress too far, I'd like to be doing some things as he's doing this as well.
Yeah. Go ahead. What do you want to do?
Yeah. So anyway, I got a 23 on that one.
Okay, before we continue on with that, Lyle, what are you up to while he's...
Well, I'm supposed to be standing guard over him, but I'm standing there, and I was thinking about that other weird organic particle that was in the air. And I started thinking I'm going to solve this Sherlock style, and I pull my scanner back out. I want to do some repeated scanner checks and try and trace that back to, like, where the origin is. And kind of, like, wander away trying to find that, trace
Yeah, the
that.
locate, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's at. Yeah, go ahead. You can do another computers check for me. Logic computers for a scan. While you do that, Torvin, you
19.
managed to successfully... What was it?
19, sorry. 19.
19, perfect. Torvin, you managed to get a drive to pop up on this system, and when you do, the blue screen over to your left, where the text is scrolling, goes black, and the monitor power light begins to blink as though it's gone into the monitor itself has gone into kind of a sleep mode, and then the computer you're on, the network hard drive disappears for a moment, and then it pops back on, and it says Sundine Gravitix _ drive in all caps. So Sundyne Gravitix _ drive in all caps.
So I can see this device.
You can see this device, and in fact, as you do, you see the computer to the left of you begin to boot back up. You see the BIOS screen. Things start to come. It starts to scroll through, and it's going through its normal boot sequence on the left-hand side. The screen that was blue. Lyle, you find your way over to a particular section of the dome where you see a table, and on this table there's a combination of things: some scalpels, some knives, and the weird scientific instruments, a fairly large, powerful microscope. On the microscope is a large piece of this chitinous exoskeleton. It appears to be the smallest piece they could possibly get. It's about the size of a dollar bill, and it's on this large microscope. You can go ahead and look in that if you so choose.
Sure.
So as you look inside, what you see is it begins to kind of go into the molecular structure of this chitinous material, and to the best of your knowledge, you don't know anything about lattice structures or anything like that, but what you're looking at appears to be very random and very kind of wavy, wavy lines and things like that. Not what you're used to in chemistry class. In chemistry class, you're used to seeing the hydrogen and oxygen, and they make water, and that looks like this, with a little thing on the side, and this is what a compound looks like, and so on and so forth. This looks absolutely nothing like it. It almost looks like a DNA strand gone haywire, like it twists around and then it comes back around, and so on and so forth. As you look a little bit closer, make another, let's see, it would be an intuition check as you're looking at this.
My God, the forces of chaos are at play. 16.
So you look a little bit closer, and you grab the side of it, and with your you can actually, because you really want to be smart, you can use that hook to add another d6 to your roll, to try to get it up above a 21.
Bingo, 6.
Very nice. Is that a triple 6?
Oh no.
Overall.
I just no.
No. Okay, so you grab the side of the microscope, and inspired by your desire to be smarter, you zoom it in just right, and along the train track railroads of this DNA type structure going through, you can see little particles moving along the tracks. You've never seen anything like this. It's almost as though this piece of chitin is still alive. It doesn't regenerate, but it doesn't die. And that kind of blows your mind, because your experience with organic life has always been that once you cut a tree down, it dies. It loses its source of nutrients and everything. This does not appear to be the same category of organic material.
I'm going to snatch that. Is there any kind of container I can put it in?
Yeah, you just shove it in your pocket if you want to. But around there, there's
this thing in my pocket. I want to.
Yeah, chitinous object inventory check. Yeah, no, you can grab you find some container to, it's a, what are they called? Not Ziploc. A little plastic pop top container. You can pop it in there.
Sounds very scientific.
Yeah, you empty out the noodles that are next to you in this. Yeah, you just kind of put it in there, and you're like, hey, here's my piece of chitin. Yes. Torvin, what were you up to? You had rolled something.
Oh,
sorry.
So I had rolled.
Oh, the computer. The computer was booting back up, yes.
Yep, and so I don't think I had a roll. I was just waiting for it to... I had made my roll, I guess, and I was able to bring this other computer back to life, and it looks like it's booting up. So I'm waiting for it to get to some sort of a point where I can log in and try and access this thing.
I'm gonna obviously, am I out of sight of him by now, Nate?
Yes.
I'm going to hit him
You're
up
kind of on the other
set.
side of that cylinder.
All right, I'm going to hit him up on the comm set and say, Ensign, I found something interesting over here. While you're going through the computer systems, I'm gonna take a physical scan of the facility.
Okay, I'm blind here, so watch my back.
Just as you finish saying that, the comms open up and you hear the commander coming through, and he's like, he asks for an update on the pirates and where the data could possibly be for the testing that had been going on. He wants to know the status of the research. Is it there? Is it not there?
Still working on it. But we've
sir,
got.
so far as we know, we have been able to locate any of the data, but we did hear a transmission from the Brotherhood. We found that there was a mole inside. There was a Brotherhood mole, and he contacted his brethren, reporting on. What is that sound?
I don't know what that sound is. What was that sound?
Oh, that was. I just figured out what you're talking about. That was me. It was my mouse rose up against the side of the computer. So.
Yes.
Yeah, and he says, "Damn it! I was afraid of this. Our scan of the planet is almost complete. We're doing a surface scan, seeing if we can locate any other steelies on the surface. I'll be back to you in a couple of minutes with the results." And he breaks the comm. Yep.
Ensign, see if you can dig up any backups of the data they might have uploaded to be sent off world.
Yeah, I think I got their main data bank booting up now. So keep your fingers crossed. I should be able to get that momentarily.
Copy. I'm going to keep searching.
Okay, so you've all have rolled enough to basically, I see where you're going and what you're wanting to do, and within the 2 minutes that you have before he finishes his scan and gets back to you, Torvin, you're going to make one more roll, because when you open up that hard drive through the network, you are prompted with another password.
Okay.
And then, Lyle, as you make your way further into the facility, you're going to need to make a perception check for me.
Do I get to apply skills at all?
Anything that apply, like seeing and hearing, perception.
Survival does. You got to be pretty perception.
The general sense is that this isn't necessarily a survival situation, so that wouldn't really apply very much.
Reactions?
That is for combat.
Okay. I'm going to scratch your tactics. Tactics.
That is also for combat. However, you can almost always use your hook. Your desire to... You are secretly wishing you were smarter than you were, so you're...
Because I wish I was so smart, I'm going to...
Yeah, you're like, what is going on over here? I want to learn all about this. So that will allow you to add 1d6 to your roll.
Being
Yeah.
very stealthy and whatnot. Being very perceptive in general. 15.
Okay, you make your way down further, down one of the hallways where the glass is smashed open, and there there's an arm like hanging off the glass, scientist arm.
Got a cured.
And yeah, you just begin to make your way further back into the dome. What is it exactly that you're looking for?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? That broke up a little bit.
What is it exactly that you're looking for?
I want to find a couple of things. Anything that might pertain to the research that was going on here that would be above my pay grade, or that would be classified as need to know by the top brass, and anything having to do with that monster that we killed, or the research on the chitin.
So you make your way to the end of the hallway, and you come into a kind of a common room, and it's surprisingly in good condition. And one of the things that you notice is that most of the literature here is like way more mundane than you would think scientists would read. It's like, motocross magazines and stuff you'd find in a dentist's office. But then
scientists don't have fun.
But then in the center of the table seems to be this dossier sitting there that appears to have been hastily abandoned. And when you look at it and you open it up, the contents reveal some research, some maybe 2 months ago, that had been conducted on these creatures. And it reads, testing has gone well on the Zakuz. We were able to extract several pieces and managed to get them to a boiling point, at which point they liquefied. Next step will be to find a proper metallic alloy to inject this into. Research continues on finding the proper temperature and the proper alloy for these two things to meet. And then it goes off into more kind of specifications of like the structures of alloys and what alloys might be good for it, and kind of more theory kind of stuff that is way beyond you.
All right. Well.
And then Torvin, what did you roll for your password?
I didn't roll it yet because I wanted to say, so I got through a couple of layers of this thing already, and technically I'm fixing this thing. Can I have my fixer attribute to this roll?
What fixer?
It says you can add 1d6 to any attempt to repair something.
Oh, yes. Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, cool. So 26.
All right, you again bypass the password and you get into the system. You're scrolling through the files. You don't have a lot of time before the captain opens up the comms again, or the commander rather opens up the comms again. One thing that you noticed was that you didn't notice anything. There was clearly a block of data missing from this hard drive, purposefully removed, presumably by somebody who didn't want it there.
But can I look at? I want to look at the timestamp on this thing.
On the email?
No, I want to look at the timestamp on this drive to when that change was made.
Ah, yes. That appears to correspond exactly within 1 minute of the time of the email being sent.
How difficult is it for me to just remove the hard drive from this machine? Is this a standard computer that I could just pop the lid on and yank that hard drive out and bring it with me?
Yeah, it's not. It's a server. It's a server rack. Mm-hmm. If you were, and the hard drive is in a RAID configuration, so if you wanted to keep the data, you would have to remove the entire RAID.
It's just not like a single single motherboard. We're talking like.
You, Torvin, have a personal laptop with you, so it's likely to say that you would have a USB stick with you.
Wow.
And you could, while you're talking to your commander who is about to call you, download some files of interest to look at later, if you would like to do that.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take a quick look and make sure. I'm just going to delineate system files from data files, and download everything that's not an operating system file, basically. And just I'm going to dump it all on this USB stick or whatever the equivalent of it.
Yeah, and as soon as you start to kind of drag and drop it into your USB drive, the comm links open back up, and it's the commander, and he says, boys, you better prepare yourself. Our scan caught their attention. They know you're here.
Who is they?
The Steel Brotherhood. They have a facility about 2 miles down the way. It hasn't been there long. They appear to have been in orbit on the other side of the planet waiting for this to happen. They're sending a ship to pick up all of the personnel from the facility. They're sending a few of their pirates towards you. However, more important is that your new mission is to prevent the evacuation of that data at all costs.
We haven't
and
even
you don't have a lot of time.
Just to clarify, you don't want that data to leave this planet? Is that what you're saying?
It either needs to be destroyed or recovered.
We haven't even found it. We thought they took it away. I thought they took it away in a ship already.
I found some of it. I'm downloading what I can. We'll be on our way in a minute.
Well, Lyle, you would know from this. This scientist, he took the data with him. He took it, he deleted it from the computers, and has taken it to the facility of the Steel Brotherhood. And they're calling right now. They're waiting for an evac ship right now to get off the planet.
Oh, but they're sending somebody to go take care of us as well at our facility.
They're sending a few pirates to come and stall you because they know that you know that they're there.
Okay, well, in that case, to the RRs, my good ensign. This is indubitably the most contentious and portentous thing for us at hand for the moment.
Well, we'll just have to give them a nice warm welcome. And I'm going to grab this. Am I done downloading? Are my files done downloading?
Download complete.
You will have to interrupt the file transfer before you're able to get it all. That's a ton of data. And even then, your USB stick couldn't possibly hold it all.
All right, so I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to pull the stick, and I'm going to put... so what kind of, some sort of a handgun, right?
Yeah, you've got an ion pistol. Yep.
Ooh, an ion pistol. Does that do nasty things to electronics by any chance?
It certainly does. That's exactly what you have it for.
I'm going to melt the CPU of this thing with the ion pistol and hightail it back to my AR.
Yeah, sparks fly, a little electrical fire comes up, and you just see circuit boards start to melt and things just going haywire there.
So as I'm running back, I'm going to say, as I'm running back to the mechs, I'm going to say, Lieutenant, maybe we should melt this place before we get out of here if we can. You heard what he said.
Yeah, the data, though. Just the data. As long as you use your lasers, don't waste any hard ammo on it. If you've got any weapons, go ahead, but don't waste any resources on it.
It's a one-shot. You don't have ammo.
All right, light her up.
Yeah, so you guys light this place up. It just goes down, and you make rubble out of this little biodome. It stands no chance to your large robots. He gave you the coordinates to the location, and he has told you which direction the pirates are coming at you from. If you hightail it, he also mentioned in the transmission that they have a ship that has made it to orbit and is on its way in, and it will be there within 10 to 15 minutes. So that is your timer to make it over and stall that ship before your reinforcements are about 10 to 15 minutes out. So it's a race against the clock. If you guys can prevent them from taking the ship off. I'm just trying to make sure that you, as the players, understand what your characters know from the transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's pirates on the way.
Yeah, you're not sure exactly how many. They've sent some to stall you though.
And do we know what their ETA is?
2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. And we got a landing ship coming in. How far away is our LZ? Or is LZ where it comes to meet us?
I'm pretty sure they're headed straight for the data at the other site.
Yeah, LZ. What's that stand for?
Oh, sorry, landing zone for our reinforcements. Where?
Yeah, they are now headed straight towards the facility, the Steel Brotherhood facility.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they're not concerned about the biodome anymore. They are going to the facility.
So, is there any terrain here? Is there a way? I'm just, Torben's thinking on his feet here. Is there a way to just loop around and get the hell out of here while the pirates are poking around here and head towards where our reinforcements are going to be?
Yeah, so the terrain is very gradually. It's almost like very gradual sand dunes, but the ground is hard. It's solid. And so what you're able to do is kind of go over to a sand dune off to the right, or I should say a mountain dune off to the right, and kind of loop around, going 60 miles an hour. You guys book it over that direction. Why don't you both make driving checks for me? It's going to be agility driving checks, and I want to make sure that.
Well, basically, I didn't want to necessarily steer that. Sorry. So I would be suggesting this to the lieutenant to make sure that.
Oh, okay.
I get his buy-in.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's good thinking.
I think if
let's avoid conflict at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if we get behind them, they'll be here for several minutes trying to figure out what's going on, and we can be hightailing it over to assist our reinforcements.
Yeah, primary objective is to just keep that ship on the planet. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So.
You hop back in your mechs, and your hatches close. You guys seal up, and you know that you've got about 60 to 180 seconds before you are in direct contact with these pirates, and you floor it with your mechs. And as you do, you're pushed back against the seat, and you can feel the centripetal force kind of the, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but the G-force of you're moving forward at a very high acceleration, and you just, and you're going, and you're gone. You're off. I need you both to make agility driving checks.
12.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Man. 18.
Okay. I thought you were saying ooh as in it's bad. I was like, just beat a 10. Just beat a 10. That's all you need.
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you both zip on right out of there, and you're able to make it. Now, one thing that you are going to have to do is hide very momentarily. There's a moment where you are going to be seen, and so you know that your only option is to activate your adaptive camouflage that you have built into your mechs or your ARs. And basically you have to sit yourselves completely still while they kind of cross the horizon and make it to the biodome, at which point you can deactivate your camouflage and make your way back down the other side of the dune and towards the facility. And that's going to be that's more of a feature of your ARs. So I guess I kind of told you what to do in that instance.
That's great. I like that.
Sorry.
It's a good narrative piece to keep things moving on.
See, but you know what? That would be, if we had been using like miniatures on a map or something, that probably would have been more obvious to us.
Right.
That's kind of where I was going with it. And so anyways, yeah, you guys, you're able to make your way, and you're booking it towards the facility. You approach this facility, and it's very kind of makeshift. And in fact, you get there in like a minute and a half to 2 minutes. And you wonder, wow, it was really just like right down the road, and they never saw it. it's really kind of pathetic that they were this close. However, it looks like a hastily put up steel bunker almost that could be just taken down and taken away within a matter of hours, really. And you make your way, and you can see that there are about 20 of these pirates in these powered combat armor suits. They're PCAs, and they're standing in two regimented lines, 2 lines of 10. And over to the right, you see a man in a white coat holding a briefcase, and then beside him is another pirate who appears to be in better decorated powered combat armor. He's clearly a leader or some type of general to the 2 lines that are there, and they appear to just be waiting.
So, question: this combat armor, I assume this is more man-sized, sort of like Iron Man.
Yes. Yep, exactly.
Oh, okay. So still pretty.
In fact, I have a cool picture that I found that I will show of kind of what I was thinking it would look like. It would look like that.
Okay, cool.
So, the floor is yours, how you want to approach it. You've got about 10 minutes before the ships arrive and all chaos breaks out.
Well, it seems to me like that briefcase probably is our data. And there's only one ship, I think, so we can either destroy the briefcase and get the drop on those soldiers, hopefully. Maybe take a good chunk of them out while they're all grouped up. Or we can try and disable the ship. Maybe just run in the mechs and, in the ARs and try and target the engines.
So the pirates have a ship coming in. Do we know what kind of ship to expect?
You do. You would be, in your training, you'd be very familiar with the type of transport ships that they drive. They're nothing special, however, they are pretty standard spacecraft, and to your knowledge, spacecraft have shields. And you might get a few successful shots in before they raise their shields. However, kind of domestic arms fire against those spaceships would likely be futile after a couple of shots. However, it would, you know that your mission is to delay, not necessarily to destroy the ship, but it's to delay them leaving. So however you decide to do that is up to you, but you would know that this ship would be fairly impervious to your fire after the first few shots.
So that's okay. So how much precision aiming can we get with this thing? I mean, can I get like 10 centimeter aiming, meter aiming?
It would really depend on your role, how skilled you are with your weapon.
Okay, so but potentially I could get down to like centimeters if I have a really good roll.
Yeah, I mean you could hit exactly what you're aiming for if you're careful enough and skilled enough.
Target the stabilizer and it can't fly for a couple of days at least, something like that. That was my thinking.
Right.
Cripple a specific system if that's an option. Okay, so...
Yeah, if he only has 1 or 2 shots, there may be some key components you could drop. I don't have those kinds of skills, though. So I'm thinking maybe we just go batshit and take out the scientist, because he's a traitor anyway. They're all bad. Let's just go in guns blazing and try and wreck them.
You know, I'm cool with that, Lieutenant. So what do you think are... Well, we already have ships in orbit, so we would assume that this pirate ship, if we raise hell, they're going to turn around. Wouldn't you think? They're going to turn around and get the hell out of here.
I would hope so.
But so our ships would be able to either intercept, kill, or distract them or something.
Yeah,
so,
they should be running right back in the inbound.
So. I say, yeah, so I'm with you. Let's go, let's do this. I think one of us should specifically target the briefcase.
Yeah, let's go for both those two. Let's
if they're standing close enough together, let's go in with explosives. I have missiles. If you have any explosives, let's just try and wipe out the commander and the scientist with the data in the briefcase in a coordinated strike, essentially.
So your distance away from where you are at right now, so just to give you a picture, you are basically as close as you can be without being visible to the naked eye. You're kind of at the ridge of one of these mountainous dunes, and your range to the closest pirate, who would be at the end of one of these these lines, is roughly like 400 feet.
Oh, okay.
So, what am I
Now, so Bruce, you wouldn't know this. The range of your weapons isn't the maximum range; it's a range increment. So for every, like, for instance, your light cannon, your 12 millimeter light cannon has a range of 12 or 60 feet. You can shoot, 240 feet, 4 times your range increment, but you would take a negative 4d6 on the roll. So for every range increment above, the maximum range, you are taking a negative to your attack roll.
And what's my movement feet? What's my movement per round?
You can accelerate at 20 miles per hour per round, so your first movement would be 20 feet, roughly. And then your next movement, if you were to continue accelerating, you'd be 40 miles an hour, and you'd move another 40 feet, roughly. The math is general enough, and the time is general enough to where that equates to about to be the same thing.
There's movement in. So sorry, I gotta go. Since I don't have the background and the mechanics here, does movement impede my firing?
No, you can take your move action and your fire and your other actions in any order. At least in this case, that's the way we're playing.
There won't be any penalties to your rolls or anything.
Right, so you could boom, aim, hit your accelerator and move, and then shoot while you're moving.
But my concern is, and so I was going to say, I'm out of range here. I gotta have the distance between us before I can even get good range, for my 20 millimeter.
Yeah. What's your range requirement?
My best range on the 20 is 200 feet. So I can shoot.
No, it's 100 feet, because at the beginning I had mentioned that.
Oh, right.
The multiplier was by 5 feet, not 10 feet. That was my bad. So,
okay.
Your range increment on your smoothbore 20 millimeter is 100 feet. So, if you were to fire at 101 feet, you would do your normal attack roll minus 1d6.
Okay.
Gotcha. So we need to get within good range because my loadout is 40 feet from my... I don't really have any good long range. I got 60 feet. I need to get within 60 feet to hit with.
So let's think about this then. So maybe shooting the ship is our better option. Because I'm not too concerned about those guys on the ground. And without a ship, the guy with the briefcase is not going anywhere.
All right, you're right. Let's, we only have like 2 shots, so if we don't down it in the first couple of shots, I don't know how we're going to be able to...
And just to clarify, we're just as close as we can get. There's no other terrain options or anything to try and get closer to them. There's buildings, right? There's no way to... Are we just too big to...
The terrain of the planet is such that, like I said, it's very kind of rolling sand dune-ish.
Yeah.
And the only building around is that makeshift kind of facility that they have there. So if you were to just start running towards them, chances are pretty good that you would be seen within a couple of, maybe 10 seconds of your running. You would be able to cover some distance. You'd be able to cover about 20 feet in one turn, and then 40 feet in the next turn. But by then they would likely see you. In fact, I would probably have you roll a driving test versus their perception. Is how I would do it mechanically, but
I mean, if we're going by the stats here, it's going to be, I think, 4 turns before I'm in, reasonable weapon range where I'm not taking a big penalty. That's what concerns me.
You might be right. Well,
but we got to do. You know what? We got to do something. So,
yeah, as you say that, we got to do something. You see in the upper atmosphere the outline of a ship beginning to make its way towards this location.
Okay, so just real quick, is it obvious where this thing's going to land? Do they have a landing area established?
All of the ground looks exactly the same.
So
there's no real landing area established.
It's just sandy, flat. They're going to lay it down somewhere.
Yeah, I can show you a picture of the texture of the planet. It's not as important as it is to know that it's not sandy per se. It's definitely solid. It's much more rocky and dirt than anything. Yeah.
All
right. So I think I have an idea.
Okay.
If we trace the ship in, hopefully we can stay relatively hidden from the ship as it comes in, but we should definitely try and hit the ship. The ship's going to have to touch down to pick them up, so let's try and hit it as it's going into its landing. Before it lands, as it's going into its landing. Let's see if we can hit it. Try and disable it to the point where it can't get off the ground.
Let's do this, if we shoot off its landing gear, it can't land.
That's true too.
It will have to retreat.
Depends on what kind of ship it is. Nate, you said we know what it is. Does it have landing gear like that we can target? Does it have posts or something it lands on specifically?
It has the jets that will essentially, jets on the bottom for lifting and landing, and then jets on the back and sides for maneuvering and going.
Okay, so vertical thrusters, kind of.
Yeah.
Are they
thrusters?
Targetable? They're noticeable, targetable, damageable?
It depends on how it comes in. And speaking of how it comes in, the outline of the ship gets ever so slightly larger.
So can I do a logic or something, or can we do like logic rolls to figure out the best way to attack this ship?
Yeah, it would be an intuition.
Okay.
Intuition, and this time survival would apply if you want to use that.
All right, I'm going to do that then as well. See if we can come up with the best plan. $20. Boom.
And Torvin?
8.
You get a song stuck back in your head, and Lyle, it just kind of dawns on you that they would be able to pile into the ship quicker than you could do any damage to the ship that would disable it. Basically, you would need to be like really close to it, within like 15 feet, firing at its thrusters or firing at its stabilizers or this, that, and the other thing. And that's if they didn't get the shields up as soon as they saw you. So you kind of assess the situation, and you come to the conclusion that the best thing you could probably do is to really just go in headlong and try to take on these pirates. They are there, because if you wait until the ship gets there, and your reinforcements haven't come, if they're even 30 seconds, 45 seconds off, that you will have wasted the opportunity to disrupt everything that's going on down on the ground, and they'll just pile into the ship and they'll take off before you have a chance to really do anything.
All right, Jeff. All right. No, Ensign Torvin. No, I think the ship's not going to...
Let's do this!
The ship's not going to... for us. Window of opportunity is going to be closed on that too quickly. We need to destroy that briefcase.
All right, let's go. I'm ready. Let's just rush them and do the best we can.
Driving checks, please, and I will roll their some things for them.
11.
Okay, that's good.
Just as an FYI, I'm going to have to wrap this up in 20 minutes if we aren't done already.
14.
So,
Okay, as soon as you start coming down the hillside, they see you immediately. And they break ranks, and the two lines fan out. And they just start taking pot shots at you. At this distance, they're really just wasting ammo. So I'm not going to make any rolls because it literally would be pointless. But they are coming towards you. You see the scientist and the commander. Commander kind of puts his arm over the scientist, and they run inside the facility to take cover. And it's you and the pirates. As you guys are running towards each other, the outline of the ship begins to get closer and closer. But you see it. It visibly has slowed down. It knows something's going on, and it's not coming nearly as fast. On the other side of the atmosphere, you see your reinforcement troops coming in. They are further out than the pirate ship. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
16, baby.
$11.
Again. All right. So, first up is... They couldn't have possibly rolled that. Hold on. No, they didn't roll that. Just a second. Although they might roll that. They did. They rolled exactly that. So the pirates are going first. Sorry. And they're running in their powered suits, and they're firing shots off at you. They close the distance by where'd their sheet go? There it is. They close their distance by about 80 feet, and so they're about 320 feet away now. And that's their turn. Next up would be Lyle.
So, if I read this correctly, I only have 4 defense, is that right?
That is right. Plus your current moving speed. So if you're moving at 60 miles an hour, you would have a 10 defense. Unfortunately, that's as high as it can go in your current AR.
It seems awfully low. Well, I guess I got a really high health.
You've got a lot of soak, and you are a massive walking piece of armor.
Oh,
Not too hard to hit.
My soak, damn.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, get a calculator out.
Well, I just totally forgot to apply it. In general, I forgot about it, but I remember it was 25 and 18, so it would be 15 and 8.
Yeah. Yep. So, Lyle, you're up. What you doing?
I will. I have my 3, right? My 3 moves.
Yep, 3 actions, and you are currently moving forward at 20 miles an hour.
I will.
So actually, the distance between you and them is 300 feet, not 320.
I will accelerate a little more. I will put another 2 notches, so I would accelerate to 40 miles per hour.
Okay. I was wrong about their speed, actually. Their speed is supposed to be halved. That was because of the scaling. So they only moved 20 feet, not 80 feet. They would be like sprinting like faster than is humanly possible, even with a powered armor suit on. So they moved 40 feet. What was your move?
I would like to move at 40 miles per hour.
Okay, so you've moved a total of 60 feet. They've moved 40. You are, 300 feet away from each other. That's your move action. You have 2 more actions to take if you'd like.
All right, I'm going to use my grenade launcher. It's artillery. Does not require line of sight. Range is Yeah, the ranges are 60 feet, so we're way outside of that, but it's artillery, so I can just aim up.
Yeah, 300 feet divided by, 60 feet. So, yeah, you would take a negative 5d6 on your attack roll. But you would only need to land it near them, not necessarily on them.
Alright, well, my grenade attack...
Because the grenades have a blast radius.
My grenade attack is only 5d6. I can't go lower than 1, though, right?
No, you cannot go lower than 1.
But, I mean, even if I hit a 6, that probably still wouldn't hit. So... I don't really think there's too much I can do. I'll take, well, you can do only, what's with the exploits, like the evasive maneuvering? Can I use that again already? Since I just used it earlier this day.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a thing that you can do every turn. Basically, think of it as a thing that you learn to do in your mech that allows you to maneuver it. It's kind of like in Star Fox. Do you remember when they have, like, you're going along on the levels, and then you get to the boss, and then it's all range mode, and they open up their wing flaps, and they can fly in 360 and everything. It's kind of like that. Evasive maneuvering is kind of like all range mode. You're much more apt to dodging in all different directions.
Well, yeah, I'll just take evasive maneuvering, and then I will, I want to try and do a long-range scan. I know it's a very long distance, but I want to do a targeted scan with my scanners on that suitcase, if at all possible. I want to try and identify whether or not there's an electronic storage device in there that would be holding the data.
Yeah, so the same range increments apply. I don't know the increment on the scanner. What kind of scanner do you have?
Yeah.
Or it's built into the AR. So we'll say that the scanner on the AR has an effective range increment of 100 feet.
So I'm down by 2. I'm down 2 dice then?
You are down 2 dice.
13.
Oh. Yeah, you're able to, your scanners go across, and it zeroes in on that suitcase, exactly what you were looking for. You turn some knobs, you dial it in, you get it zoomed in, and you see that the suitcase itself is protected by that same electronic film that the Biodome was protected by, so that it's impervious to scans.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're headed right for it there. I'm just going to adjust my steering just a tiny bit to make sure I'm not just running towards that group. I'm running specifically towards that one.
Got these 2 mechs coming, and then we got this group of pirates coming. You got starships in the atmosphere. Torben, what are you doing?
So I guess I'm accelerating to my max, which is, so I guess, am I at 20 miles an hour now?
You are at 20 miles an hour now. You can bump it up to 40.
Okay, so I will do that. I'm going to accelerate. That's my movement. And so how close is the nearest? So if I picture this right, so I am dead aheading at the guy with the briefcase, and there is sort of a V formation coming at us, like 2 wing formations.
Yeah, they kind of panned out almost in a straight line. They do have a little bit of a curve to them, but they pretty much panned out in a big straight line. They've got a slight curve kind of coming at you like this.
Yeah. Okay.
And then so the line is right here, and then the facility is like right here, and the scientists went in right up in here. So Lyle, you're kind of coming this way, and you're coming. You've got your eyes set on this, and Torben, you're right over here coming towards that way.
Okay, so how far away is the building they went into?
That is about 350 feet.
So what is my penalty if I want to shoot at that thing? If my, so let me get this, if I got this right. I'm looking at my, it looks like my longest range weapon is the 20 millimeter.
At 100 feet, yep. And so for 300 feet, it would be negative 4d6.
So that's 5. Okay, so how close is the closest enemy to me?
300 feet. So that would be negative 3d6.
Wait, I thought the range increment was 100.
It is. For his smoothbore cannon, it's 100 feet.
Yeah, so at 300, it's divided by 100, isn't it? So it'd be... Oh, you're right, 3. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I thought it was 2 for some reason.
Well, 300 divided by 100 is 2, man.
It's like, I'm tired. Children.
So, Torvin, what are you doing?
So, so I'm going to I'm going to aim at the nearest enemy. So I'm going to use my aim action on the nearest enemy. I'm going to focus my 20 millimeter on him and fire away for, that's not too bad, it's 13.
You hit, actually. You managed to hit him.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So, that was crappy. All right, 10 points of damage.
Okay, so you let this shot loose, and it hits this guy in the shoulder, and you see it, chung, and he keeps on running towards you. You notice a lot of his power armor absorbed a lot of that, but you definitely landed a hit on him. And you have one more action left. Oh, no, you don't. You used aim. So now it's their turn, and they're going to continue running towards you at 40 feet. So they are now within 260 feet. And what's the range increment on their attacks is what I would like to know. I didn't write that down. But
I'd like 20 feet.
Their rifle... No, I thought I did write that down. It was,
Definitely 20 feet, I'd say.
Oh, it was 15 times 5 was,
75.
Yeah, 75. No, 75 feet. They've got these, so you notice they carry these large rifles, and you notice them, they turn knobs and they switch it, and the core of it lights up blue. And they're shooting these bolts that are falling short of you. Still, they're just not able to reach you yet with their shots. They are 260 feet out. Tim, or rather, Lyle, your turn.
60. I'm at 40.
And you're moving 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'll bump it up to 60 to my max. 200 feet, right?
So now you're at 200 feet, yep.
Is that to the guy that Dudester just targeted as well?
Yeah, they're all roughly the same distance away.
All right, I'm going to aim at him.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot with my beam lasers, which have... Oh, well, let me check here. Oh, wait. Then my ROF tracking.
Yeah, you haven't used any weapons yet, I don't think, right?
No, I haven't. I forgot to set it back from the last time. Laser. 60, so 60 of those, that's about 3. So, we're down by 3.
You'd be down by 4, because...
You round up?
3 range increments, yeah, it would be 180. And then you're into the next range increment, which is 200, which would be 240. You're at 200, so you... Even if you're over the next range increment by just 1, then you have to deduct that die from it.
I'm going to use both of my luck dice.
Okay. Did you say you're taking aim as well?
Yes. So I would
Great.
be up to 8. I'll take 3 off that, and I'm back down to 5. Right?
Yeah. Yep. Now, don't forget, did you add your exploit to that as well for firing? You can either use it for firing or for damage.
Oh, no, you're right. For firing. Or no, I'll take it for damage. I should be able to.
Okay, and so when you roll damage, just add 1d6 to it.
Yes, so firing. Hit at 19.
Yeah, you hit. What did you fire with?
The beam laser.
So you fire off 2 laser shots, and they come down and they land square on the pirate's chest.
Damage is 5 damage. 22.
You
beam laser, bitches.
Yeah, it just goes right through his chest, and he goes flying backwards. And he's got this gigantic hole in his chest, and he just hits the ground. And like when he does, his suit like kind of bursts into flames a little bit right in the entry hole, and he just goes down and he's dead. Did you use your aim exploit for that?
Yes.
All right, great. Next up would be Torvin.
Okay, so I'm going to accelerate first of all. So I'll be at 60.
Yep.
How far away is my closest enemy now?
200 feet.
And and how far away is the building?
About 250 feet.
Okay, I'm going to fire 20 millimeter right through the front door of this. But you said that these things are ramshackle.
Did you already fire your 20 millimeter last turn?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, and so your ROF tracking, you'll have to put that down to 0, and then give yourself +1 for this turn. So I forget what the ROF for the 20 millimeter is. It's 2. So you've got on your ROF tracking for the smoothbore. No, for the smoothbore it's 3. I've got it. Let me look it up real quick because I've got it 2 different things. In any case, you can't fire it this round.
Okay.
So I'll get back to you on that.
All right. In that case, I'm going to fire. I'm going to fire the 12 millimeter at the nearest enemy. So he's
Okay. The rate of fire on the smoothbore is 2. So you're at 1 out of 2. At the beginning of your next turn, you'll be able to put that 2 out of 2, and you'll be able to fire it next turn.
okay. So it's essentially every other turn then.
Exactly.
Okay. But how about the 12 millimeter? What's the cooldown on that? Is there a...
After you fire it this turn, you're going to drop that down to 0, and your next turn you'll add 1, and then turn after that 2, you'll be able to fire it again.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So in that case, I'm going to fire the 12 millimeter at the nearest enemy. So I think if I calculate this, I have a one dice penalty.
Well, let's see. It's a 60-foot range increment for the light cannon. So they're 200 feet out. So that's going to be 4 range increments. So you get negative 4d6 from that. So your attack roll without your exploit, without your cannoneer exploit, would be 1d6. With your cannoneer exploit, would be 2d6. With an aim action, would be 3d6.
You know what? I'm gonna keep my aim action because I want to do something else with that action.
Okay.
Can I apply luck, or is there some other? Is there another way to add anything to this thing other than luck?
You've got aim, you've got your cannoneer, which we've accounted for, and luck is your last holdout.
Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 luck then.
For your attack.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So that would put you up to 4 if you use your aim exploit, but you said you weren't going to.
Right, so I'm going to roll 3.
Yep.
I hit target the nearest enemy. So
All right.
10.
Okay, now did you roll a 6 on any of them?
I did not roll any 6s.
Okay. Your shot goes right by one of the pirates.
Okay, and then I'm going to use my evasive maneuvering.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if they attack you next turn, you'll get to add 5 to your defense, plus 6 from your movement. So yeah, you'll actually have a pretty decent defense, you'll have a 15.
I'm definitely going to be in range now, so I got to do what I can.
Yeah, so you do that. It flies by. They move in another 40 feet, and they are within 160 feet. And with their 75-foot range increment, they're only going to take a -3 to their attack. So let me see what their attack is. Where to go? Rifle attack. All right, so they are going to attack Lyle since he took out. Now, Lyle, your defense. Did you take evasive maneuvering as well?
No.
No. Okay. So you are moving at 6, and your defense is 4. So you have a defense of 10 right now.
Okay.
Okay. They rolled. Not that, because I didn't deduct the... Hold on. -3, D6. Damn. Yeah, they rolled a 5 on that one. Another one will fire at you. He misses. Another one will fire at you. He misses. Another one will fire at you. He manages to connect with his rifle for 17 points of damage minus your soak, so 7. And then, let's see, how many attacks was that? 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks. And then you'll get shot at again one more time for 14 that time. That hits. And he will hit you for 20, so another 10 damage. The other 5, or actually I should say the other 4, will target you, Torvin. And pew 10, pew 13, pew 11, pew 13. So all these shots come whizzing by you, and you're able to kind of dip, dodge, and weave out of the way. Lyle, your turn.
Jeez, I don't know. There's too many to actually take out.
At this point, the pirate ship has come into full view. Your reinforcement ship has come into full view. However, it's still about another 2 minutes out, whereas the pirate ship is kind of coming down, making its descent. And it's still too far away to really shoot at, but it's coming into full view now.
All right, let me ask you this. On what now? So I've been moving at 60.
Yep.
I move again at 60. So
Yep.
that puts me at what? Because they moved to 1. They were at 160, right?
Yes, they were. So that would put you at 100 feet.
100 feet now. What's that to the facility? 150?
Yep.
Okay, so there's an outdoor landing area for the ships, right?
Yep.
Is there a back door of the facility visible in like line of sight for me? Or the door to the to that landing pad, is that visible?
There is no real landing pad. There's just ground.
But the door is there? How many entrances are visible? Just one?
There's one on the side that they ran into, and then there's a small human-sized door on the back end facing you.
Only one is facing me that I can shoot at right now?
Yes. And I remember that your range increments aren't times 10, they're times 5. So like your grenade launcher has a range of 60 feet, not 120.
I already went through all.
Okay.
Changed all those over. I don't know, not a lot of options here. Because I really am going to have to go to bed like pretty much now after this turn. Well, we only have drones or the normal grunts, right? Coming after us. Both the important people are inside.
Yeah, they appear to be taking cover.
Well, hell. I'll still use the grenade launcher. It's got splash damage. I'm going to aim for some... We have 2 or 3 in a group that I could hit with a decent grenade shot.
Yeah, you took out one that was like 3 in, so there's 2 off to the side, and then the rest of the 7 are kind of running towards you guys still.
How many is that? 6, did you say?
Yeah, there's 2 on the side, and then a man-sized gap where you shot one down, and then 7 more after that.
Are those 7 close? Like, how many could I hit? What's the best I can do?
You think you could put it right there and hit about the grenade itself has about a 10-foot blast radius, and so wherever you put it, it's a 20 feet diameter. So it'll go 10 feet out to the right, 10 feet out to the left. So you think you could pretty much hit like 4 or 5 of those guys that are on the left side running towards you.
All right, well, that's what I'm going to do then. Grenade launcher at 100 feet.
So you'll just take just 1 d6 off for the range increment.
Okay, I'm also going to be using that ballistic training.
Cool. So you add 2d6, so you're at a plus 1d6, yeah?
So that would give me
5d6.
6 it should, because my grenade attack is already 5.
Minus 1, plus 1. Or plus 2.
Yeah.
Right, that's right, because it's capped at 66, so that's why it was, my bad. Yep.
So it'd be 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that. Little grenade attack for the soft spot. 19.
Oh, yeah. You land it right where you wanted to land it.
Damage.
Do you have any luck left you could throw in for the damage?
No, I already sucked those up. 13, though.
13. So this grenade lobs down, and it just clunk, 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 and these guys are running, and they see it, and it explodes in front of them, and some of them, it tears some of their armor off, and a few others, it kind of stops their running, and they kind of fall back a little bit. Meanwhile, there's 1 on the left side, and 2 more on the other side, still running towards you. At this point, you can see in the distance you see your reinforcements dropping out of the ship. They're not even landing the ship. You see more ARs falling from the ship, getting ready to prepare for impact on the ground to come and join the battle. And you see the pirate ship beginning to make its descent down into a location right next to the facility, off to the other side. And you can see the commander and the scientist start to poke their head out the side door. And then it is Torvin's turn.
Oh, so they're looking out the door they went in? The same door they went in?
No, they're looking out the back door, the one that's facing you guys.
Oh, okay.
And they're looking to kind of go around back and to they know that it's towards you guys, but they can't really go out the other way because that's really directly and right in front of you, whereas the side door is kind of off to the side, and they might be able to wrap around the building and get in cover more quickly. But
okay.
you see the door open in this moment before they come out. Mm-hmm.
All right, so how far away am I from the building?
So you're still going at 60, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're 100 feet. 150, I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, I am in very excellent range for my 20mm cannon.
Yes,
So
you are.
I am going to put it, I am going to apply aim, and then I'm going to put it right in that doorway.
Do it.
And I will reserve 1 die for damage. Oh, no, that's
So you'll-
right. Never mind. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to use aim. I'm just going to do my stretch. I'm just going to do my regular roll without the aim. So
Okay.
just save my actions. So, all right. $17.
Okay, so you land a shot right in the doorway. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And another 17.
So you see, as this cannon shot goes towards the doorway, you see the commander step out in his powered armor, and his arm is pushing the door open, and the door slams open, and he's got his rifle out, and he pokes his head around, and this cannon shot comes, and he looks over at it, and it blows one of his arms just completely off, and it takes the weapon and it sends it flying off into another direction, and he falls down to his knees and he's grabbing his arm, or what's left of it. And then as soon as that happens, you see the scientist with the briefcase run out as fast as he friggin' can. You have another action.
Okay, so I'm moving. Can I accelerate more?
You can't.
I can't. I'm at max speed.
You're going 60 miles an hour. You're pushing your mech to the limit.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what my movement plan is, just so you can play this out. My goal is to do two things. I want to intercept that scientist, right? I'm going to get as close to him as I can. And on my way, I want to trample at least one of the enemy. So as I'm moving, I'm going to take the opportunity to basically trample one of these guys with my mech.
Okay, so that'll probably happen on your next turn.
Yeah.
Right now, you have one more action. You can fire your machine guns. You can do something. I think your smoothbore is still on cooldown. Is it not?
So how far away from the nearest enemy now?
100 feet.
Okay, so what's my penalty for my machine gun?
That would be -46. Those are pretty short range.
Wow. So that 1d6. I'm going to. I'm just going to use my action actually to. I'm apply evasive maneuvering again.
Okay.
And I'm just heading for that scientist, trying to intercept him.
Perfect. Tim, I know you have to go. The pirates will cease their running towards you, realizing that this is futile. And you see some of them start to hobble away. Your grenade did a little bit of damage to them. And one of them will have the balls to step forward and try to take one last pot shot at you. He will get a 21 on his attack and hit you for 21.
Jeez.
So that's 11 damage.
Yep.
So are you by chance halfway? Are you under 130 health?
Oh, no. No way.
No, okay. All right, because at 130 health, your vehicle becomes disabled.
Oh.
And then at 0, it explodes. Yes. Yeah. So, good to know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Good to know.
Yeah. It is your turn, Lyle. This will be probably your last turn for the night. What do? You're still going 60 miles an hour unless you change it.
No, I want to go 60, heading straight at the scientist. That should put me within 40.
It'll put you at 90.
Oh, right. Well, I'm still going to... I have options on the lasers. Hold on 1 second. Okay, going with the beam attack.
At just -1, yep.
Lasers, so -1. And we do a 16.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage for that. An unarmed pedestrian.
14.
14. What's it look like?
He's pretty much disintegrated.
Just up against the side of the building wall.
No, with lasers, there wouldn't even be that much left, that much anyway.
Okay.
It would really pretty much just disintegrate him, I think.
Yeah, and then you see the briefcase just kind of clunk, clunk, clunk off onto the ground. At this point, the pirate ship comes and begins to land, and you see it start to just kind of lift back up and try to take off. At which point your reinforcements are now within range. They're booking it, some of them going 80, 90 miles an hour, some of the lighter mechs. You see a hailstorm of machine gun fire rip through the rest of the pirates. And as this pirate ship begins to take off, your reinforcement ship jets out a couple of these pulsar cannons. You see these big green balls of ionic energy fly through the air, and it just rips through the back of this pirate ship, and there's a massive explosion that, and the ship begins to turn to the side and come down and hit the ground, and it just, the massive rolling ball of flame onto the ground. It's a complete destruction of that pirate ship, and you are met back up with your with Ranger Squad, and you guys are able to grab the briefcase, bring it back home, and Torvin, one of the things that you discovered, that you were able to discover, is, just because this is cool, what they were going to be able to do with this is they discovered a particular metallic alloy that had the perfect lattice structure, so that they would take this chitinous material. And the reason this chitinous material was so special is because it has this unique property to where you could boil it down essentially to this liquid, and it would still remain very much alive. And what they would do is they would inject this chitinous material into this alloy metal, and it would basically make this plating that is would, like, a bullet hits it and it will push the bullet back out, and so it's this really, really tough, highly fortified armor that, if the pirates had gotten a hold of it, would have been very detrimental in the ongoing struggle between the Steel Brotherhood and the New Gaia military. And that, my friends, is the end.
Nip that shit in the bud.
That's right. Put the smackdown on those guys.